The Duchess of Sussex wrote empowering messages of support on bananas as she joined husband Prince Harry on a visit to a sex worker charity today. Meghan and Harry were making up food parcels to be handed out to female sex workers when the Duchess was struck by the idea to add her own personal touch. After asking for a pen, the royal took the time to write individual messages of encouragement and empowerment like "You are special and you are strong" on the fruit. The parcels carrying the bananas were then loaded into a van and distributed to sex workers on the streets by the charity 125, which helps female workers in the sex industry and those battling addiction and other life-controlling issues. The stop was the second of 3 on a busy day of engagements across the city for the royal couple today. The day kicked off with a visit to Bristol's Old Vic Theatre before Harry and Meghan made their way to 125 and finally to Empire Fighting Chance in Easton, a charity which uses boxing to support children. Pregnant Meghan, who is expecting her first child in April, plumped for a £1,400 Oscar de la Renta dress for the occasion. She wrapped up against the chill in a black wool coat from celebrity favorite retailer William Vintage and injected a splash of color in £530 Sarah Flint merino suede olive knee-high boots. As they were shown the food bags being prepared in the program's kitchen, the Duchess suddenly said, "Oh, actually, do you have a Sharpie marker? I have an idea." She explained, "I saw this project this woman had started somewhere in the States on a school lunch program. On each of the bananas she wrote an affirmation, to make the kids feel really, like, empowered." It was the most incredible idea, this small gesture. Armed with a marker, and with the words "I am in charge of the banana" messaging, she wrote a series of messages on the bananas destined for the food bags sent out on the outreach van. "You are strong, you are loved, you are brave, you are special." Afterwards a volunteer called Sam, who is a former sex worker, said of workers receiving the bags, "I think they might not eat it. I think that banana would be at home until it is rotten, because I would do the same." It sounds really cheesy, but little things like that when you are out, especially tonight with the weather, just to get that little thing, means the world. Meghan took her time out to write that one. It's lush. Sam, 43, who is not using her real name, said the couple's visit was amazing. She added, "It is amazing that they chose to come here. It is heartwarming, and makes you think that these women are not forgotten and not cared about." Speaking about how the charity had helped her in the past, she said, "I was a service user, and 125 was there for me when I had no one. They helped me keep my children, helped me keep a house." Now, she said she was volunteering for a project which helps women who have quit the life on the streets. "They helped me move on, and now I am trying to do the same for other women." Sam said she thanked the royals for choosing to come to 125. "Us women can be forgotten. They seem to get that." That was lovely. Talking about her own past, Sam, who was originally from the north of England, said, "I was groomed into prostitution from the age of about 14 or 15. I ended up in Bristol, addicted to drugs. I was working in Bristol, and came across 125 on the outreach van. I started going to the drop-in. They loved when I did not love myself." That's a bit cheesy, but it's the truth. Former sex worker Sam said, "I didn't have any self-belief." When you come from that background, just to have people that really believe in you and can see something more in you, when you don't even feel it or see it yourself. I have been away from the street and away from drugs for 13 years in April. If you had told me when I was that girl that I would be meeting with the royal family and talking, and they would be interested in what I had to say, that would have been alien. For the women, to know that Harry and Meghan have come here, we do matter. It is that feeling that someone actually cares, and is making the effort. As the couple were shown the food bags being prepared in the kitchen, Harry talked of how sex workers were coerced from an early age. "When you were being groomed at such a young age, and this is the only thing you know, you completely lose faith in society. You lose trust in every man, and probably everyone else around you. From a mental health perspective you are broken." Anna Smith, the charity's chief executive, told the couple, "The plight of our women is often very much misunderstood, and they are stigmatized and hidden from the world." As she spoke, the Duchess spotted that Sam was looking nervous at the prospect of having to talk to the group. She told her, "Sometimes it is the lead-up that makes it more nerve-wracking. You go first. It's like ripping a band-aid off." M. Smith went on, 125 was set up by volunteers 22 years ago, who were moved by the plight of women sex workers working on the streets of Bristol, and their vulnerabilities. We work with about 250 women a year. Our aim is to help them step away from street sex work. Life on the streets is cold and dark. It's not glamorous, it's not sexy. It's dangerous. They are incredibly vulnerable. You can imagine tonight it's not a lot of fun. They don't really do it by choice. It is survival more than anything. They may well have come from a background of sexual abuse, of a life living in a violent household. They might be addicted to drugs. They might have mental health issues. But they are like you and me. They are wonderful. They full of life. They are full of vibrancy. They are resilient. They survive out there. They are funny. They make us laugh. And we try and show them as much love as we possibly can. The visit was carried out under conditions of strict secrecy. No one outside a small core knew they were coming. Not even the sex workers using the drop-in center next door, who were totally oblivious to the royal visitors just a few yards away. After meeting volunteers and donors, the couple sat inside the outreach van which tours the red light district 5 nights a week. Amy Sutcliffe, the fundraising and communications manager, said it included an ugly mugs wall, descriptions of punters who are a danger to the sex workers. We drive around the area, women flag us down because they know us. They will jump in. They will have food. We can give them condoms. We have warm clothing. And we give them lots of advice. We encourage them to come to the drop-in center where they can see a doctor, or a sexual health nurse, and our casework team. The women we work with do not have one challenge. They have many. It is not just that they are homeless. Not just that they have addictions. They are some of the most vulnerable women in society. Before they left, the couple were given a sock monkey made by a woman at the center. It bore the words, "Wishing you and Sock Monkey joy and adventure on life's travels." 30. As they got into their car to leave, the Duchess said, "Incredible." Then, as the car drove off, Sam did a little dance of joy. The visit had, clearly, gone well. Afterwards M. Smith said Harry and Meghan were very moved to hear of the women's stories. They seemed very moved by the testimonies of women who spoke about their experiences, she said. The volunteers and staff described how the van is a beacon of light, and I think they were probably most touched by that. M. Smith added, they both said that it was really important work that we were doing, and I think they both really understood the issues that we were trying to get across, that the women are vulnerable, that the work is dangerous, unsexy, unglamorous. This is a group of women who are hidden from public view and therefore not supported unless we go out and find them. She said, they understood the need for blankets, hot water bottles and the tender care that we give out on the van, and that tonight will be a very hard night for the women. The Duchess spontaneously signed bananas that were going into those food bags with fantastic messages, and that was a really wonderful moment, and I think the women will remember that forever. Their second stop of the day was a visit to 125, a charity specializing in helping women to break free from street sex work, addiction and other life-controlling issues. 125 provides women with practical and emotional support, from basic needs such as a hot shower, free clothing, or a nutritious lunch, to expert advice and crisis care from a caseworker or visiting professional. The homely, relaxed atmosphere gives opportunities for the women to develop their skills, improve their self-esteem and start their journey to building new, independent lives. The charity's Peony service supports women who are stepping away from sex work to develop their well-being and skills so that they can reach their goals in the community. Bristol also supports women who have had more than one child removed from their care to break the cycle and build a more positive future. During their visit, the royals found out more about their work, before meeting volunteers who run the outreach program, which is a lifeline for the 150 women still working on Bristol streets. Earlier in the day, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex braved the snowy conditions gripping the southwest of England for an official visit to Bristol today, which resulted in a slight delay in their arrival. This came after Kensington Palace confirmed that the couple's day-long visit to the city was go-ahead in spite of the weather, with waiting crowds noticeably thinner due to the icy temperatures. There had been concern that the inclement conditions could have hampered their journey down from London, and it is understood that contingency plans were being put in place, just in case. But aides said today that they were determined to be there. The couple cancelled their plans to fly because of the weather and arrived by train, About half an hour later than planned, pregnant Meghan looked elegant as she joined Prince Harry, 34, for their joint engagement, greeting loyal fans and a group of excited youngsters from Abbey Wood Preschool, who had spent a chilly morning waiting for the royals. During their visit, the royals are meeting members of the public to learn more about the city's rich cultural history and visit organizations supporting communities most in need. Meghan and Harry began their busy day with a visit to the Bristol Old Vic, the oldest working theatre in the English-speaking world, which was built in 1766. The Duchess has an affinity with theatre, having spent a decade working as an actress in television, where she was best known for playing lawyer Rachel Zane in the hit legal drama series Suits. The Duke and Duchess will tour the recently renovated facility, finding out more about the theatre's unique history and links to the local community. Meghan was seen braving the snow without an umbrella, showing off a glimpse of her belted printed silk chiffon midi dress by Oscar de la Renta underneath her winter coat as she chatted to her fans. Coordinating her outfit perfectly, Meghan teamed her green boots with a coordinating olive clutch, holding a pair of nude gloves as she made her way through the crowds. Preparing for parenthood, pregnant Meghan and Harry were seen bending down to speak to their youngest fans. Nursery school children had princess costumes underneath their snowsuits. Chatting to a group of youngsters from nearby Abbey Wood Tots Nursery, Meghan beckoned Harry over to join her. "Are you nice and warm in here?" asked Harry, admiring one of the youngsters' snowsuits. He then laughed mischievously. "You know you guys can run anywhere you want." Congratulated on her pregnancy, Meghan said, "Oh thank you," before chatting about yoga with a well-wisher and saying, "What kind of yoga do you do? It works for the mind and body. It's so key. A nice practice would be so fantastic right now." Speaking to other fans, Meghan was heard explaining that she and Harry had got the train down today, adding, "It was a few minutes late but we tried our best to get down here fast." Thanking fans for braving the weather, she joked, "Sorry my hand is cold," to one onlooker, while adding, "Nice to meet you. Thank you. Oh, staying outside in this weather." She added, "I hope everyone gets a nice cup of tea after this. We are just happy to be here." Once inside the venue, Meghan showed off her incredible dress, a printed silk chiffon midi dress by Oscar de la Renta with long balloon sleeves and a belted waist which showed off her blossoming baby bump, as she chatted with staff. The pair explored 250 years of sound technology at the theatre's Noises Off exhibition with Year 5 pupils from St. Werburgh's Primary School. They then watched the young company performing a song from their production Hercules. According to Kensington Palace's Twitter, the young company consists of 350 young people aged 5 to 25 attend weekly drama sessions, and create 3 productions each year. Following the performance, the Duchess of Sussex called for drama clubs to be given the same emphasis as sport and school. Former actress Meghan argued on a visit to Bristol that the creative arts can give young people a sense of community. The royal, who has recently become patron of the National Theatre, was visiting the Bristol Old Vic to celebrate its major refurbishment, and gave young actors and actresses a pep talk on the stage, reassuring them that sport was not for everyone. "It's good that you have this," she told them. "And what a beautiful space as well. It's really special." Referring to a short tour she had just been on with her husband Prince Harry, she added, "We were just talking about it. There is so much of the emphasis in after-school clubs on sport. Channeling the energy you have into the creative arts and theater, and all of that is equally as important. Sport isn't for everyone, just as theater isn't for everyone. You can know that there's a place, here, where you can find a community, and sort of explore self-discovery and other things you might be thinking about." Harry told youngsters of drama, "It's more than a hobby, isn't it? It runs in your blood." The Duke and Duchess were greeted by dignitaries who sympathized over their journey in the cold weather. Meghan spoke to Lord Mayor Councillor Cleo Lake, who told her of an upcoming Black Women's Theatre Festival to be held in June, featuring the work of established and new playwrights and performers. "That's very exciting. Wow," the Duchess exclaimed. Sally Cordwell, the executive director of the theatre, carried the unexpected star of the show, her 3-year-old daughter Ocean, who captured the hearts of the couple after being introduced as Ballerina. "Nice to meet you," the Duchess told her. "Is Ballerina your real name? Are you a ballerina?" asked Harry, before being told that no, It was just the name she had chosen recently. As she tried to understand what Ocean was trying to tell her as she reached out to touch her, the Duchess guessed, "My hair is curly. Oh, my hands are cold." "Oh, thank you for warming them up. I love the hair," said the Duke, poking her playfully on the nose. Asked about her daughter afterwards, Ms. Cardwell joked, "Her nursery was closed and I didn't have much choice really, so I'm making a statement for working women." The Duke and Duchess were then taken on a tour of the theater by Tom Morris, artistic director. Viewing an exhibition about the history of sound in the theater, they watched a group of young people demonstrate how things have progressed. At the first station, which showed how sound was spliced or mixed together on reels of tape, the Duchess asked questions about whether it was easy to do, while the Duke wondered how it compared to modern apps. The second stop saw a young actor explain how posture helped them find confidence on stage. "So you're planted?" asked the Duchess, watching him demonstrate. "Do they call that stage presence?" Prince Harry added, smiling at his wife. Meeting a small group of teenagers, the Duke and Duchess quizzed them about how drama helped them. Told that it was a good creative outlet from concentrating at school, the Duke empathized, "It's quite hard sitting in a classroom being told what you should be interested in, whereas this is more than a hobby, isn't it? It runs in your blood." "It's good to have the balance of both," the Duchess added, perhaps mindful of their positions as role models. "When you have school, you really appreciate coming here, right? It's really good that you guys have this and have each other to explore your creativity." As they traveled through the theater, Harry was allowed to try an 18th-century wind machine, winding a handle to create a noise. In the main theater, the royal couple spent a few minutes watching a theater group rehearsing lines from King Lear, applauding them from the dress circle. Invited to speak to them on the stage, the Duchess told them, "You were great, by the way," before asking about how they were involved in drama. "If you didn't come here after school, what would you be doing?" asked Meghan. "It's so great you have this." Back in the foyer, the royal couple clapped and cheered on the ensemble from the Bristol Old Vic Young Company, who sang a song from their new play Hercules, which explores what it means to be a man. Before they left, Harry and Meghan unveiled a plaque to commemorate the newly refurbished theater, nodding along to a speech in which Tom Morris emphasized the importance of arts in the community. When they began planning to remake the front of the theater, he said it was feared people felt that theater felt like some sort of exclusive art form that wasn't for the whole city, leading them to vow to knock down the barriers. "It's our aim as a theater to be a place of welcome, entertainment and discovery for every community in this city and the region." The royals also dropped in on a workshop attended by local school children, which is part of Bristol Old Vic's outreach program. Although Meghan spent 10 years working in television, her background is in theater and she holds a double major in theater and international relations from Northwestern University. Meghan volunteered at a performing arts after-school program for children in underprivileged school districts in Los Angeles. Earlier this year, Meghan was officially announced as patron of the National Theatre, a post previously held by the Queen for 45 years. The Duchess has previously spoken of her passion for using the arts to bring people from different backgrounds together, and her visit today will focus on the work that the NT does, as well as meeting some of the talented teams and apprentices working behind the scenes. The final visit of the day was to Empire Fighting Chance, which aims to fight the impact of deprivation on young people's lives through boxing. The charity supports children aged 8 to 21 who are failing at school and in danger of drifting into a life of unemployment or even crime, and helps them turn their lives around. While at the club, Prince Harry, who lost his mother Princess Diana when he was 12, spent 10 minutes talking privately to 15-year-old Ieston Jones about processing his grief, telling him, "The same thing happened to me." He asked aides and workers at a boxing club in Bristol to leave the room while he comforted Ieston, who like him has found solace through the sport since his parents' death 7 years ago. Harry, 34, has spoken previously about how taking up boxing gave him an outlet for aggression while he was struggling to cope with his grief and on the brink of a nervous breakdown when he was younger. The two spoke when Harry and his wife Meghan visited the Empire Fighting Chance charity in the tough inner-city neighborhood of Easton in Bristol. "It just got a bit emotional because he mentioned something. He knew some stuff about me and the same thing happened to me. We had a chat for about 10 minutes, Sting from Kingswood near Bristol said. When we had a group picture at the end, he made sure I was standing next to him. They were lovely people. I didn't expect them to be like that. They were amazing people. Based at a boxing club that trains amateurs and has produced professionals including former IBF bantamweight world champion Lee Haskins and ex-IBF world featherweight champion Lee Selby, Empire Fighting Chance uses boxing to help troubled young people drifting into a life of unemployment or crime. The charity was started in 2006 by Martin Bisp and Jamie Sanagar after they spotted two youths dealing drugs outside their boxing club in the nearby neighborhood of St. Paul's and invited them into box to get them out of trouble. Within 6 weeks we had 50 kids coming in twice a week, Mr. Bisp said. They now run programs for 350 young men and women per week combining non-contact boxing with therapy, numeracy classes, and other courses designed to instill discipline, self-control, and respect while building self-confidence and improving physical and mental health. The charity has spread to South Wales and is currently in talks with the Saudi authorities about taking boxing out to the Gulf as a way of empowering women. Empire Fighting Chance runs programs which help instill discipline, self-control, and respect, whilst building self-confidence, life skills, and improving both physical and mental health and fitness. During their visit, Meghan and Harry, who has himself boxed, met with young people using the boxing gym, speaking to coaches about the positive impact Empire Fighting Chance is having on young people in Bristol, and watch a couple of training sessions attended by primary and secondary school pupils. The pair were also gifted a pair of personalized black and white boxing gloves during their visit, one emblazoned with the words "The Duke of Sussex," the other with the Duchess of Sussex. Prince Harry revealed some time ago that he liked to box, explaining at the time that it helps him with stress. This is Meghan's third engagement of the week, after she visited the National Theatre on London's South Bank on Wednesday, of which she is a royal patron. On Thursday, the busy royal attended a meeting with the Association of Commonwealth Universities, ACU, at City, University of London, in Islington, to officially launch the last of her 4 new patronages.